Hey guys, it's D.Bowie here, and today we're talking about INVOKER. He was probably one of the heroes with the biggest core changes in the path, and I want to see how different players are dealing with them. One of the biggest changes was not having two forest spirits at level 8 anymore. A Reddit post was made talking about it, and one experienced INVOKER player suggested that the way to go now is Quaswax, going items like Phase, Urn, into Midas, and then there's a plethora of different items you could go for. Sonneiko doesn't follow his suggestions exactly, but plays Quaswax. This video is very new, so take everything here with a grain of salt, and I hope you enjoy learning the patch with me as we go through Sonneiko's decision making. Early on, Quaswax does struggle less hit-wise, and that's why you want to go Phase boots. Starting with Blaze of Attack though is not advised, especially now that you don't get strength from skilling Quas or intelligence skilling Exhort. You definitely want some stats to make up for your early squishiness. While Quaswax INVOKER doesn't less hit very well, he can trade somewhat decently, especially now that the HP regen got buffed. The most basic aspect of playing Quaswax INVOKER is maxing Wax and leaving Quas at level 4 or a constant level of your choice. One common mistake that people who are not used to playing Quaswax make is maxing Quas after Wax, or even leveling Quas too much. As you get more levels, it gets pretty hard to land your combo since you never really know how much time you should wait to cast EMP or other skills. 4 points in Quas is a good number, so that your Tornado plus Cold Snap can maintain the enemy hero in EMP range. But in the laning phase it's preferred to prioritize Quas until you hit 4 points in it, because Cold Snap is a good way to harass and secure kills with rotations, while at the same time HP regen is way better in the laning phase than move speed and attack speed. In this footage, Sonneiko grabs his first kill of the game. Since Silencer and him have similar HP percentages, but not enough to get the kill right away, check how he keeps trading hits to get him to a low enough level to commit with 3 skills. Bear in mind that he traded with Silencer during the entire laning phase, which makes this less obvious. Usually, if you're against a decent mid player and completely change your posture in the lane, he will notice it and probably not fall for your bait. If you actually see the amount of damage that Tornado and EMP deal with level 2x, you will see that EMP deals more damage and steals mana, but since Silencer has boots, it's very hard to set up Cold Snap into EMP in the early levels. He doesn't have mana for a third spell, so he commits Tornado and Cold Snap to secure the kill. Another thing to pay attention to is that for most of the time Sonneiko was trading hits with Silencer, he had Quas turned on, but when he goes on Silencer he has everything on Wax, to proc more Cold Snaps and to chase him easier. Now that clarities do not get cancelled when creeps hit you, the item is even more important than it was before, since you can even less hit under a tower with clarity healing you up. Usually, Quaswax INVOKERs can dominate the lane and keep their mana levels up by casting EMP, but after getting the Silencer kill he had no mana, so instead of going back to base or using shrines, he just sends a clarity and check how he wastes the exact amount of mana needed to get a kill. It's important to know that this combo costs 375 mana to use. Always have that in mind before going in on someone, only to find out you're missing mana to use Cold Snap and finish the kill. Another thing to mention is that you don't spend mana to trade between spells you already have anymore, so have that in mind before going in. I said that he had the necessary amount of mana, right? But he only had enough for EMP and Tornado. Well, he waits for EMP to proc, and even though he didn't steal the maximum amount of mana possible because Silencer casted one skill, he guarantees the kill. Another thing I want to point out is his clicking pattern. It's nighttime, so you can't right-click standing your ground because you won't have vision of him. See how after each Cold Snap proc, he walks a little bit closer to Silencer, guaranteeing that he can get the kill.
Dire's mid-tower's having technical difficulties.
Here we can see a standard trade that Quaswax INVOKERs make. Watch his HP and mana when he starts. He spends 230 mana to deal way more damage than Silencer does on him, and even though Silencer spent less mana in theory, INVOKER actually drained Silencer's mana. So one of the ways INVOKER wins his lane is not necessarily getting kills, but sending the enemy mid back to base over and over again, since you have more mana and more HP sustain. As he goes on Silencer, same story. All Wax, Phase boots activated, only casts Tornado after Cold Snap stopped proccing, and always has Wax when he's attacking. Since Silencer is forced to Fountain, he goes into the jungle to search for Enigma. He ends up fighting him in the lane, and this particular Tornado would be very greedy to cast at daytime, but at nighttime, when you're casting it from behind, so there's no allied creep vision to help you react to it, he can get that kill easily. In these two clips, Sonneiko's decision making is geared towards the same thing. Landing tornadoes with INVOKER is all about understanding whether the enemy has time to react to it when he first sees the skill, be it walking or using a blink or a defensive skill. When he goes on silencer, he doesn't commit tornado right away, not only because he's too far away and he would have time to dodge it, but also because he wanted him to commit to a juke point that wouldn't allow him to dodge it. When he goes on Omni Knight, there is always the chance of Omni casting Repel to dodge tornado, but now the Repel lasts so little, if Omni commits too early to it, it's pointless anyway. So instead of taking his chances, he just approaches him and commits tornado when there's no chance of counterplay. As you can see, he can't get more points in Wax, but doesn't want to commit skill points in Quas, because at this stage he can land his skills reliably, and Cold Snap already offers enough lockdown, so he can go back to Exhort. With the added attack bonus in the 3 talent, he right-clicks for a lot at this stage of the game. This clip showcases the strength of the hero. Instead of your usual Ghost Walk into Cold Snap and Earn, he goes for a way greedier build with Orchid and Alacrity. The first good play was completely avoiding Omni and Wraith King, and going sneakily for Silencer. He already knows that Global Silence was cast and he quickly snipes Silencer. Going for EMP instead of Cold Snap while greedy helps him recover some mana he spent for this combo, allowing him to use Tornado, helping his allies. But look at his clicking patterns. See how he intentionally goes closer to Void to land Tornado on him and the other Dire heroes? Pretty cool. Since INVOKER gets more damage with his talent tree, and also gets levels post level 6 faster, he can make even greater use of the power spike that Quaswax Invokers usually had, but with the added benefit of getting points in Exhort faster. And in this game he went for the extra experience tree, which makes sense, since even though the pace of the game is faster now, level 15 in the new patch is certainly not the same as level 8 in the old one, so going for the double Forge Spirits really seems kinda useless to me. The item choices Sonneiko makes are very interesting and show how flexible INVOKER seems to be now. Of course, he's going Manta mainly because there is a Silencer in the enemy team, but before the usual choice would be going for Yield Scepter, BKB, but with the talent tree giving him damage and attack speed and INVOKER having the freedom to go for items like Phase Boots and Orchid, even Bloodthorn now, going for Manta synergizes with him. Not only that, but Exhort now provides raw damage, more than before actually. Of course, there's no way to know for sure if this is the new way of playing INVOKER, but it can be a way towards the best build. Well, this wraps up for today. If you enjoyed this video, please guys give it a thumbs up, it helps a lot. If you want to see the extended version of this video, please check the link in the description. And I can't overstate how this video would never be possible without the huge help from the Pugna guys, so please show them some love. And if you're new to my channel, subscribe to it. I'm making videos like this almost every day, and I'm sure something here will spark your interest. I feel like the item is actually great. It allows Slark to fight more often and does stack more essence shifts. Scepter is definitely good, as a third, probably fourth item slot on him. I feel like of all the eggs released, this one is the one that should be bought more often, because not only the effects are great overall, it's one of those items that synergize very well with the new backpack mechanic. You can literally exchange your boots with Scepter a little bit before the fight starts, use your ult, exchange it right after casting it, and the cooldown will still be